Hey folks, welcome back to another Opponent Masters video, and first of all, I do have to slightly apologize a bit. I know, I haven't been uploading recently. But can you really blame me? I'm playing Legends of Arceus. I'm playing it till like 5 a.m. every like morning, right? It's a fantastic game so far. I've been loving it. I want to stream some more later today, but I also kind of have to get some real work done, so I'm not sure if I will, but we'll see, right? Fantastic game. So slight apologize for that. But anyways, Mawile and Palentines Marnie, kind of an insane unit. Which this one, as always, we will be streaming our summons live at reset when this happens. So make sure you know, tune in for that one, right? And this unit is great for multiple different reasons, right? First of all, you have, well, Steel Wish, which is pretty straightforward. Steel Zone, that's the big buff for Steel type units, right? And there's a lot of really great Steel type units, but in particular, Alolan Grimsley, right? Alolan Grimsley is just like out of this world good with Mawile, but there's a lot of great ones as well, right? Yeah, but Zacian obviously is nice with this Steel Zone, but like units like Zacian, Metagross, and I'd put Solgaleo in that category as well, right? These guys just suck, right? Damage-wise, they do other things that are fine, right? But Steel type damage-wise, these three units are just bad. Not even gonna sugarcoat it, but now with the Steel Zone, they get a much needed buff. Much needed damage boost, and they could actually do some really good damage now, right? Zacian, Solgaleo, and Metagross. So that's very nice. And obviously, you know Duraludon already hits super hard, right? You already know Bisharp already hits, you know, very well. And these just get super charged with Steel Zone, right? So kind of an amazing. Obviously, all these zones wishes are very good. I would expect we would be getting more different types of these, right, in the future. This is our fourth unit with a zone right now so far. So if you're looking to pull just because of it has a zone, I probably don't think that's a great idea, right? Because again, I do think most types will be getting zones in the future. I'm not saying all. For example, I'm not sure. I don't think fire type's gonna get one because fire already has sun, right? Maybe not, I don't know, electric type, or electric type already has electric train. But you know, just types without those innate 1.5 times multipliers, I think those are the types that might be getting these zones in the future, right? So I don't think these zones are going to be much of an exclusive thing in the future, going forward. But it is definitely a huge plus, right? It's very good, obviously, again, for Steel type units. And that's not where her greatness ends, right? She has many other great attributes. First of all, after she megas, that's an insanely high physical attack stat. And what else? She has Growl on top of Terrify 2. Like, I've talked about this so many times already, but this is just incredible. You debuff the opponent's attack by 2 when you enter the battle. You debuff the opponent's defense by 2 when you enter the battle, and then you buff your whole team's crit by 1 when you enter the battle, which generally you'd say, okay, who cares? Which you'd be kind of right. But it is a mega, so it triggers twice. When you come in, it triggers once, and then when you mega, it triggers another time. So instead of just -2 attack, -2 defense, +1 crit, you get -4 attack, -4 defense, and then +2 crit for your whole team, which is kind of insane. On top of that, you have Iron Head, which has flinch chance, obviously, very good against certain legendary arenas in the gauntlet. And she also has the second strongest sync move in the entire game, right? Second strongest sync nuke in the game. So there's that as well, right? So in terms of the grid, so if you are going to summon for her, how many copies do you want, right? At 1 out of 5, she really does not get too much. You get a Growl move, Gauge Refresh, some Iron Head power-ups, right? For like just a Steel Zone setter, 1 out of 5 is definitely enough, right? 1 out of 5 is definitely enough for a Steel Zone setter. But for her own like max potential, you kind of want to go for a 3 out of 5. 2 out of 5, you have some stuff as well. For example, Power Posture, which is relatively easy to get, right? With Mawiles. stuff, right? Very, very easy to get a 30% damage buff over here, so which is really, really good. Metallic Acceleration 2 is also very nice too, because if you are going to look at any weaknesses this unit has, I do think her one weakness is the speed is not very good. But on the bright side, she's not a 4 gauge damage healer, so it shouldn't be like that bad, right? And a lot of times you might even be using that one. I mean, you get most of the attack debuffs over here, but you also have that option too, right? But Metallic Acceleration definitely would help. Steel Wish Critical Eye. Every time you use Steel Wish, you buff your crit rate by 1, so if you pick that up, you could basically get yourself to a +3 crit without any supports. Which, if you're trying to get a run in the Legendary Gauntlet without a support on your team, so you could save supports for future runs, that would be very, very valuable as well. Endurance is whatever. Aggravation on Iron Head is obviously very, very powerful. You get your 30% flinch to what? The 60% flinch, right? You have a few sync move power up notes, move gauge refresh on Iron Head. Super Syncer gives you super effective up for first sync after your first sync is used in battle. That's kind of whatever, but if you like that, then sure. 3 out of 5 is where you get most of her stuff, right? Most of her like the big stuff, right? Your Metallic Surge 5, or I guess most of your sync nuke stuff. How about that? That's probably the best way to put it. You get your 50% sync nuke, you get your 100% sync nuke, right? You have Enfeeble 1, which makes it guaranteed that you get -6 defense on your opponents. You have Super Duper Effective 3 on Iron Head with extra 30% on Steel Weak, obviously. Fierce Sentry, so if you pick up like Crit Eye 1, Fierce Sentry 2, then you have max attack, max crit, all by yourself without having to bring in a support, right? You have Steel Wish NPR, right? So I think all stages of Mawile are good, right? So if you're trying to go for 1 copy, 2 copy, 3 copy, all 3 are good. 1 copy is more of just a Steel Zone support, right? 2 out of 5 is a Steel Zone support plus a flinch spammer, right? With Iron Head aggravation that could do some solid DPS with Power Posture as well, right? And then 3 out of 5 is the second, highest sync nuker in the game. Highest if you have super effective up with Red and Snorlax, right? And just absolute just obliteration, right? So here's the issue. Is this unit good? This unit is amazing. Very, very, very difficult. Very, very difficult to decide if you're a free-to-play player, right? If this is the banner you want to pull on. Because here's a few things you have to consider, right? First of all, Cynthia banner is still up. Lucas banner is still up. Cyrus banner, Singsu Cyrus banner coming in a few weeks. Singsu Dawn banner coming in a few weeks. The Palentines B banner coming in a few days right after this. The Palentines Dawn and Palentines Serena rerun is coming back, right? 2.5 year anniversary is at the end of next month. Huge, huge, huge banners that she coincides with. Huge banners that she also, again, runs with. I would argue she is better than all of them, right? Personally. That being said, does not mean she would be the best unit to summon on for, right? Because again, there's a lot of things you have to consider. The big one being 2.5 year anniversary, right? Last year when we got the 2 year anniversary units, they turned out to not be as good, honestly, in my opinion. At the time. Right now, I'd say I still say Lear's probably a bit better, but at the time, Lear ran right before the 2nd year anniversary. And then it turned out, because everyone was saving for the 2nd year anniversary, a lot of people maybe skipped them or whatever, right? But then it turned out the 2nd year anniversary units were slightly underwhelming at the time, right? And then it turns out Lear was probably better than all of them. Well, at the time, definitely better than all of them. Right now, I'd still say Lear's better than all of them, but it's a bit more debatable, right? I don't think they're going to do that again. I'm not going to guarantee it. They might do that again. They might make it so that the 2nd year, 2.5 year anniversary units aren't as good as Mawile, aren't as good as Dialga, aren't as good as Giratina, aren't as good as whatever, Darkrai, right? Cresselia. There's a chance. They're not as good. But I'm willing to believe. I'm willing to give them the benefit of the doubt and believe that they've learned from the 2-year anniversary and actually give us insane units in the 2.5-year anniversary. And here's the thing with Mawile's banner in particular, right? If you're thinking about, you know, if you want to pull on Giratina's banner, Dialga's banner, what else? Sing Sudan's banner, Darkrai's banner, like those banners are fine, right? Again, all of them very, very, very good units, but their banners also last until like a month from now. They last till a month from now, right? So very, very likely, not guaranteed, but very, very likely we will know what the 2.5-year anniversary units are before those banners go away. And the benefit with those banners is you get the benefit of, well, seeing if the 2.5-year anniversaries are worth skipping Dawn, skipping Cyrus, skipping, you know, Lucas, skipping Giratina. You don't have that. You don't have that with Marnie, right? Marnie's banner, I believe, runs till the 9th. I want to say the 19th. I'm not 100% sure. You probably would want to double check that, but it definitely is not going to. It's definitely not going to run till the Datamined for the 2.5-year anniversary units, right? Definitely not going to run that long, so you won't have that advantage, right? So again, this is a very, very hard call. Very hard call. This is a fantastic unit, especially for this new gauntlet mode, right? Which, again, in my opinion, probably the hardest. Not probably. I keep on saying probably. In my opinion, the hardest mode in the game, right? And doesn't mean she's bad at Master Mode. She will destroy Master Mode, right? But that being said, right? How about this? Don't summon on her if you're good with steel types already. Right? If you don't have any issues clearing steel stages, maybe chill a bit. Maybe chill a bit. Maybe just chill a bit. If you're struggling hard against steel weak stages, you can consider it. I say consider it, not dump all your gems, because even if you do go for it, do be mindful what's coming up with the 2.5-year anniversary, right? This is... It's hard. It's hard. I know it is very, very, very hard, this unit, to skip. Just because of how absolutely just devastating this unit is, right? Like, this is how powerful Alolan Grimsley becomes, right? He with Marnie, and not just because Marnie has Steel Zone, it's because of Marnie's particular skill set, right? Being able to quickly help Grimsley get the, you know, -6 defense on the opponents, right? On top of all the other things, maybe, you know, flinch the opponent to trigger Harrier 3, right? All that stuff. Like, Marnie and Kimono Grimsley are perfect for each other. Grimsley's Metal Burst damage skyrockets to the hardest hitting regular move in the game. And I know it's a 2-turn move, but even if you cut the 2-turn move, you know, thing in half, you cut it in half, it still does more damage than Annie Lily's Ghost Zone boosted Moongeist Beam, right? Like, these units just are ridiculous. These steel type units are ridiculous. Like, Raihan, that's a 1 million damage dealer. That's a 1 million damage dealer over there, right? Like, all these units just become like completely ridiculous with Marnie in here, right? And then like the sync nukes, right? The second strongest sync nuker in the game. That's an almost 8 million sync nuke, right? Would be number one with if you run Red and Snorlax with her with super effective up. Kimono Grimsley turns into third. Like, okay, if you don't want to sync with Marnie, and, you know, maybe you didn't pull for 3 out of 5, you don't have all the sync nuke stuff. All right, that's fine. Don't sync with Marnie then. Instead of getting the second strongest sync nuke in the game, you can use the third strongest with Kimono Grimsley, right? Just absolutely bonkers stuff from this unit, right? Yeah, it's a tough one to skip. If you do well a bit, do spend money on this game. And again, you are struggling with Steel Weak Stage, this is definitely something you probably want to spend on. Again, that's if you spend money on the game. If you are free to play, I'm leaning towards maybe skip this, right? Just because of potentially how great the 2.5 year anniversary units are. And again, it's a gamble. It's a gamble because we don't know. Because we don't know, and we won't know until Marnie's banner goes away, right? As usual, if it's your favorite Pokemon, if it's your favorite trainer, if you love Marnie, if you love Mega Mawile, right? I'd say go for it, right? Just go for your favorite units in general. But otherwise, if you're really, really, really down bad with Steel type damage, I'd say maybe try for it, right? Maybe try for it if you're really, really down bad. If you're fine, if you're afloat, I'd say maybe save and see. Right, but this is an absolute bonkers unit. Gonna be a tough skip, right? Gonna be a tough skip, especially since seasonals usually just rerun once a year, right? Maybe we'll get a rerun of Mawile during the 3rd year anniversary, because we had a rerun of Palentines, Serena, and Dawn last year at the 2nd year anniversary. Maybe they'll do that again for Mawile. Maybe that would be a better time to pick them up. Not saying that she's going to be better than the 3rd year anniversary units, but generally you probably would have a bit more gems maybe at that time. Again, it just depends on your situation, right? Depends on the situation, but yeah, that's why this one. I hope you all enjoy. Guys, think in the comments down below. Like, share this video, for our channel, some more Pokemon content. Again, we will be streaming her summons live at reset, so stay tuned for that. Good luck to anyone summoning, and I'll see you guys in the next one then.